Today, we're going to be talking about mechanics. A lot of players truly believe that the only way to get better micro is just playing thousands of games. But in my opinion, that's just not the case at all. A huge part of having good mechanics is having clear intention behind your clicks. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to improve your mechanical skill in just 12 minutes. If you want to be just like me and never get hit by a skill shot in your life, then let's get started. First up, we have dodging skill shots. Now, in my experience with coaching, almost regardless of the student's rank, 99% of the time I see a player eating skill shots for breakfast is actually not because they don't have any hands. The real reason why is because they have no intention with their clicks whatsoever. For me personally, dodging skill shots isn't about reacting to it super quickly like some sort of Korean net cafe prodigy. Instead, it's about moving in a way to entice your opponent to use their ability, but you're already pre-moving out the way before you've even seen them utilize it. But for this one, it's definitely important to break down some specific examples. So here I have a quick example playing up against a Yone in a recent game. So of course, heading into it, I want to bait and dodge his Q. So already straight away, you can see that first movement, I clicked onto him, and then I did a sharp click backwards, making it very, very unlikely that it'll hit me. So I walk into the range, and then I do a sharp cut either behind me or left or right? So I'll explain sharp cuts later on. But here you can see him. I've clicked him. I'm walking towards him. My chest is out looking scary. But look at my mouse. It's pretty much a right angle here. If you want to get out your protractor, click onto him, click to the right. So if he cues me, I'm already doing a sharp movement away from it, making it very, very difficult for him. And you'll see he doesn't cue there. So I do it again. This next one here, boom, click him, click to the right, another right angle there. Again, getting out that protractor. It's going to be very, very hard for him to hit cues if I keep moving in this way. And I'm moving into the cue range. I'm pretending to pressure him to make it very likely that he does cast that ability. I'm not reacting to Yone Q. It's way too fast. I'm just anticipating where it's going to go and doing a sharp click away. And then here I click away, baiting him in because I want him to walk forwards. Again, most players had that same pattern and then click onto him. So while fighting here, I know, okay, Q's going to be back up soon. So, of course, boom, a sharp click backwards. Not chasing him when I can't get an auto, clicking away. And, of course, we dodge that final Q. So what we can take away from this, right? I wasn't just walking into lane, trying to beat up the Yone, trying to punch the minions and just letting my mechanics take over. There's a lot of thought there. I was pretending to punch him, click to the side, and in another game, pretend to click a minion, click to the side, and it makes it very, very likely they use a spell onto you, but you've already pre-clicked out of the way, really increasing your chance of avoiding it. And for our final example, playing up against a Pantheon, so definitely a matchup where you need to be dodging Qs or you're going to get poked out of lane. So already straight away, look at my clicks here, look at the intention behind it. I'm not just trying to beat him up, I'm not just trying to farm, I'm trying to bait and dodge that Q. So you can see the first click here directly onto him. I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to beat you up, but my mouse is already doing a sharp cut to the north there and trying to dodge that Q. Now he doesn't fall for it, he holds onto his Q, so I go again, boom, I went straight up, now I go straight down. So I changed my pattern as well. That's another important part of it. You can't just do the same pattern every single time, they're going to catch on, right? So I go down, do my little beat up here, and a second Q is coming, so I go left, and then click right, and then W. So that click could have been a bit sharper, it could have been a harder right there, but you can see the intention was still there. I click left and then right, a sharp cut, again the click accuracy was off, but I still went left and right, dodging that second Q there. So if we go forward a bit, he's going to walk up. Alright, he's got the empowered Q, of course I want to dodge that one. How are we going to do it? So moving around, and here we go. Pretend to go for this minion and click down, right? I faked out going for that minion and then I click down, and now that I see it's on cooldown, I'm going to go onto him. So you can kind of see here the same intention both ways. I'm mixing up the pattern a little bit more, but you can see it makes it very, very difficult for your opponent to land skill shots on you if you build that intention. So as we just saw, the main reason why I'm dodging the majority of these skill shots is definitely not because my hands are super young and graceful, not the case anymore. It's because I'm baiting my opponent to use it by walking into the spell's range, but I'm already pre-moving out of the way before I even see it coming. The reality is, most players in League have extremely telegraphed movement. I can almost guarantee if you watch your own VOD back right now, most of that lane is going to be spent clicking a minion, clicking backwards, clicking a minion, clicking backwards on repeat, making it very easy for your opponent to play around. So if you really start to practice having intention behind your clicks, pretend to go for that minion, click to the side, or pretend to pressure your opponent within their spell's range with a sharp cut on the opposite direction, and then punishing your opponent when that spell's on cooldown, you're going to have a much better time in lane, and a significantly higher chance of dodging their skill shots every time. However, this does require knowing the range of your opponent's abilities, but the solution to this is relatively straightforward. If you ever play against a champion where you don't really know their ranges, maybe it's a Mordekaiser, maybe it's Your Name, jump into Practice Tool. It's a really good tool to abuse. Practice how far you can max range it against dummies, against intermediate bots, against that moving Scuttle Crab, and really start to get a feel for how long the range of these abilities actually are, so that when you play against it, you're in the best possible position to bait and dodge it. Now, another tip for dodging skill shots on top of just knowing the ranges is there are certain champions in the game whose spells are extremely telegraphed. The animations are so easy to read and play around if you know what to look out for. I found this tip apply best with older champions, not champions like Loki that have no counterplay, champions like Cho'Gath, Volibear, or Olaf. They have extremely telegraphed animations before the skill shot even comes out. Against champions with big wind-up animations like this, you can pretty much pre-dodge from the animation alone before you even see the skill shot coming out. Against a champion like Cho'Gath, if you move in an erratic way, a sharp cut in the opposite direction, as soon as you see his little stomp animation, you'll be able to dodge his Q in most cases without even seeing where it's placed, just with your eyes closed. Maybe even from the sound alone you could dodge it because the wind-up is so big, but I always see people trying to dodge the circle on the floor. By that point, it can be too late. Now, what do I mean when I say sharp cuts? So sharp clicks is probably a better word for it, but imagining this is the champion and this is his skill shot. A sharp click would be something like this, right? Where, again, bringing it back to that right angle example. So my click is here, the champion's there, and I'm moving in kind of a sharp opposite direction, up, down, or straight backwards like this. That would be a sharp click. Now, a soft click, a limp, flaccid click, would be something like this. And I actually see that quite often, but you can imagine, look, I'm still in the skill shot, even clicking diagonally here. I'm still in it, right? Especially if it's something like a Mordekaiser E, you really want to be doing a sharp cut like that. And clicking close to your character is also going to help you with your mouse speed, but it's just a really important skill to practice because if you keep clicking really limp like this, it's really easy for them to hit skill shots against you. Moving on to spacing. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the hardest skills in League to learn, but it all begins with your mindset. You need to load into that game with the mentality, I want to do damage to my opponent without taking any damage in response and abuse my range advantage. But keep in mind, spacing doesn't only apply to dirty, filthy, disgusting range top laners. It can work on any champion that has a range advantage in their kit. Gwen's Q and Bessa's spells, even the bonus range on a Jax W or even a set Q. You can use these abilities to space your opponent if done correctly. So the mindset needs to be when loading into a game where your champion has a range advantage in their kit, I want to use my range advantage to chip away at my opponent without taking any damage in response and not letting them close that gap. This requires two things. First of all, you need to be watching your opponent extremely closely, and you're mentally prepared for them to turn back onto you. And I know that may seem like pretty bizarre advice. Watch my opponent, of course I'm doing that. Trust me, you're not doing it as well as you think. 9 times out of 10, I see a student fail their spacing. Even in Emerald, even in Masters, it's because they're in that same pattern. Auto move forward, auto move forward. Oh shit, the Darius turned onto me and hooked me in. But of course he's gonna do that. He doesn't want to get auto attacked in the back of the head 3,000 times. He wants to close that gap. So if while you're autoing him, while you're spacing towards him, you're mentally prepared for him to turn back onto you, it's going to significantly increase your chances of spacing him when he does so, compared to you just autoing him as much as you want to. Bringing it back to what I mentioned in terms of dodging skill shots, 99% of players have a very obvious pattern. When they're farming, it's auto minion click backwards, and when they're attacking people with their range advantage, it's auto move forward. That makes it very easy for somebody to close the gap against you if you're not mentally prepared for it. If you're a range champion, keep your max auto range distance away from your opponent. If you're a fake melee champion, like an Ambessa or like a Gangplank, keep within the max range of your abilities. You'd be surprised just how many Ambessa players I see fly on in with their passive as if they're playing Jax and trying to queue in, instead of keeping that range advantage that all of the abilities and your passive can provide you. But let's break down a couple of examples. So I didn't want to cherry pick a game where I feel like my spacing was on point, so I just queued up last night and played this KO game. So you can see here, right, dodging the skill shot with the sharp cuts like we mentioned, and now it's time to go. So you'll see after auto-attacking this guy, look where my mouse is already moving. I'm not just trying to hit this guy as much as possible. I do want to hit him at least 3 times, proc that press the attack, but my intention behind my clicks is to space him. My intention is not bash, 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 right? So you can see here, auto this guy, click backwards, because I know he's going to turn back onto me. And how do you know that? How do you know when they're going to turn onto you or not? That'll come with experience. If you have a lot of intention with your clicks over a long period of time, you're going to start to feel patterns. But most people don't like to get auto attack for free, so in most cases, they should turn onto you. So you can see here, come back in, and again, look at the mouse already. Even though I want that PTA proc, click backwards, pop the E, and then I'm watching him closely. He was actually moving towards me. That's why I fully clicked away, and that was the maximum amount of autos that I could get down in that situation. So if we go back to it, the final click backwards, you'll see he's coming towards me, but I'm in range to E him without getting hit. and then I'm already moving my mouse behind me, right? So I see him walking towards me. If he walked away, maybe I would have gone for another auto, but because he was clicking on me, I valued spacing him higher than min-maxing an extra auto attack there. But a cool thing about KO is I can get a melee example and a ranged one from the same game. So I want to kill this cleared, right? But we're going to prioritize spacing over hitting. So I'm reading his body language, and here I turn to face him to bait him in, but I don't stop moving to auto attack him, and this actually won me the all-in. You'll see him, even though he's right next to me, I still don't stop moving to hit him, because I know he has flash, and I want to space him higher than I want to auto-attack him. Now, I hit him once because he's on top of me, and I think a lot of people would auto-attack right now. My auto is off cooldown, and a lot of people have that robot micro, auto-move, 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 but again, spacing is our top priority. So move away, and you can see I hit him when I'm in the max range of my auto. And again, spacing away. And one thing I like here is my mouse is on cleared, but I'm letting my character move away. So the reason for that is I'm mentally ready for him to turn back and try to run away, and I'll click him as fast as possible to really minimize time spent him disengaging me. But he doesn't turn away, so I keep moving, and then again, mouse pre-planned onto him. And then boom, when he cues me, I auto-attack him because he's gonna be making that distance. And then again, what's Cled gonna do? Walk away and let me kill him, or turn and fight? Of course, turn and fight. So my mouse movement could be better. My mouse should be here, not here. But I'm an old man playing a knight, so we're going to give me some slack now. So he turns on to me, but the main point, I was mentally ready to turn back away instantly. So kiting. You can see the mouse ready, but not actually hitting him. And then auto E. When I'm under tower, you can't get that extra auto. And picking up a nice clean kill, all because of that intention. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Just because you change your mentality towards spacing doesn't mean you're going to be good at it right away. Like anything in life, it's a skill you have to develop through repetitions. But hitting into your game actively locked in, watching your opponent, being mentally prepared to mirror their movement when they click towards you, if you keep these things in mind and prioritize them really highly across all of your games, your spacing will increase significantly faster compared to players who just mindlessly grind for thousands of games and rely on their muscle memory alone. Alright team, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd love to see me make a full in-depth guide to mechanics, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all for the next one.